Anyway, and today this is not a tutorial. I am not an expert. I am an artist who enjoys playing in her paint. I'm intuitive. I like to just go with the flow, which is another reason I love the unicorn spit gel stains. And so I came in, welcome everybody. I came in and looked at my treasure box this morning, and it's a little rough, and that's okay. When you're working with wood on the unicorn spit, if you want it to really pop those grains, those lines that you see here, if you want that to pop and you're going to use color to bring it out, excuse me, then you're going to want to mist this wood and let those pores of the grain open up, and that way your unicorn spit will just sink right down into that grain. It's not going to lay on top. Beautiful experience, non-toxic, jasmine scented, lemongrass, natural oils, so you don't need an extra like silicone oil if you're into those beautiful fluid art pores and things like that. You can mix it in with your acrylics. Like, you love acrylics, well, let me tell you what, its companion is the unicorn spit. I'm telling you, you can get things that you cannot get with straight acrylic in a pour if you add your unicorn spit. And also, go ahead and throw in some alcohol inks while you're at it. Those three is like, you know, it's the most beautiful combination. Now, when you add the alcohol, it will, and if you have acrylics, it's a probability that you will have divots in whatever you're doing because of the alcohol, right? There's a combination with your acrylics and all that. So know that and expect it, and then enjoy it, because when you get those little divots and different textures, you can really go exploring with your brush and your imagination and just start tapping in other colors. That's how I bring things about. That's my process. So if you're looking for a way to get started and a way to expand on your pores, that's what I would suggest. Here's one. Before we get started, let me show you. I'm not done, but this was a ghost pour. And by a ghost pour, and it was unicorn spit, by ghost pour, I mean I laid a pillow of Floetrol down first, and then I just dropped all of my unicorn spit in colors and just pulled it across and let it pour across. And then, this is where I call it leveling up. For me, you do you. But then I just naturally in my brain saw, my mind's eye saw that it was a mountain and it looked like this could be water and reflection. So I went ahead with you guys, whoever was here, and we did that line across and made it that water line. So simple, and yet it kind of helps the logic brain see more that it's okay, maybe there's water. And see this moon planet looking thing, I don't even know what I'm doing with that yet, but that's where I like to take a brush, and it's just fine like this. And then if you don't want it moving, now with the Floetrol you're not going to have a problem with it moving. I don't, but if you think you are and you don't want to lose anything, then you take a polyurethane spray and just give it a spritz, 15 minutes for the quick dry. And then you can just start painting all over again with your unicorn spit. Excuse me a minute. How rude. Anyway, you can just take your unicorn spit, and then just like what I'm going to do is I want to start really doing something up here, but I don't want to mess up what I've got. So that's why it works so great. You can just spritz it and then keep going. And then if you've got something you're like, ooh, that turned out really cool, surprise. that's what happens here. Hey, wait for it to dry, spray it, wait for that to dry, and then you can start messing with it again. And you end up with just, and it's so fun, the process of it, because you're not really done. You can leave it in the studio or kitchen or wherever it is you paint. And then when you come by the next time, you'll see something that is like, oh, I know what I can do. And just start all over again. So fun. I'm looking for my water. I don't want purple in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw some white. Just some sort of white to tell me stop. I always like, if you notice, when you're painting with alcohol inks or unicorn spit stain, it's staining, that's why you're doing it. But because of that, you have to remember to try and leave your white spots. And that's fun. It's kind of a puzzle. You put a sign, that's what I did. Put a sign up, where's your white spot? And this one is more negative space, but it was kind of there. I didn't do really well there. But that was important on this one. So I want to also do my white spots, and what it's going to be is it's going to be my horizon. So I just want it lighter right there. It's just going to be easier in the long run. If you don't put it in, it's no big deal. But when you do put it in, it kind of reminds you that something else is going to be going on. Leave it open. Okay, so there's my horizon-ish. And it could be water, it could be a hill, I don't know. Don't know. All right, and then it's going to be the purple around that. I'm just going to make it like a target. You guys. No idea what I'm doing. So fun. I want to keep, with the wood grain, kind of doing that thing. Oops, I think I started with the wrong one. Okay, now the hole is getting smaller because this one's supposed to be in the inside. Welcome to my world. And this is with the Floetrol. I just put unicorn spit in here, like just squirted a couple squirts, and then dumped a bunch of Floetrol in it. So now that's going to be interesting, because the pink was the Floetrol and the purple was not. I'm just blending it. Where's my white? Ooh, I had blue in there. The unexpected can be the best. Absolutely, Val. Erica Ray. You guys, Erica Ray, she is my great niece. She is a firecracker. She is a race car driver. Give her a follow, driver. Give her a follow. Not that she needs it. Miss popularity there, but still, she's a sweetheart. I'll tell you what. She's got a good brain on her shoulders. She can do everything. She's climbing those poles. What are you doing with those lineman things and those big, tall... And yet, to look at her, she looks so frail. Oh gosh, you guys, see, you can't get this with acrylic, and I'll tell you why. Because acrylic covers, it'll cover it in layers of thickness, and the unicorn spit won't. It'll seep down into it nice and smooth. Now, adding the Floetrol is going to make a difference, but at the same time, I just really love the way it flows with that. And you see, like, I'm not going to take my brush and smooth that part out, because I've learned the less stuff you do with this, the better. It's just like, let it become whatever it's doing. That's going to end up being something. So, and then if you don't like it, you can always just wipe it out for colors on your rainbow. I don't know. That's just what they say. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. But I'm going to start playing with this right now, guys, because I just have to flow with this. So I'm just taking this same brush and taking the edge of it and pulling through it. And I'm making a little, whatever that is. Rainbow colors will be in here, but clearly it will not be rainbow shape. I appreciated it. I thought, aw, someone registered. Most of the time, when I do the live event and I do post for a registration, I will, if there's a reason, and it's usually because I tell you what you're going to need for supplies or whatever. And this time, it was like there really wasn't anything except the box and unicorn spin. So, okay, I love what I see going on here as far as this little peak of pink. I want to go explore that a little. And I hope if you're painting rainbows or whatever that you are exploring as well. Let your inner child out. Don't think about it. Just, if something sounds like fun to you as you're doing this, try it. You can't lose. It's beautiful. You never know what you're going to find. Okay, I just want to keep tapping into the center a little. Bring a little color in there. And mix it in. And different brushes will show up in different ways. Like this is really nice for the, like you can start thick and then as you pull it just kind of twist and it makes it really nice and pointed. So that's nice. Leaves or anything like that. Rainbows up and then twist it and it's nice and thick on the bottom and thin on the top. But these little rectangle ones are truly my favorite for just poking around in the unicorn spit once you get a few colors down and let things start coming up that way. It's just an amazing process. I call it unearthing because there are things in there that you don't see until you start poking around. You're kind of like excavating. It happens. Gleason TD, thank you for the love. Self-love, that's right. That was not Gleason TD self-love, that was Chunky Vegan, just so you know. Anyway, okay, so let's keep going. We're going to green. Going to green. Wow, right up purple. So let's go ahead and go back to blue for just a little bit. I want to know what this blue and just a little white will do right here. You know, most of the time I have to have a water feature. But you know what I'm enjoying is making things that don't make sense. You know, like this has like a few moons or an earth or something. And that is just by doing what I'm doing right now. Just laying down some colors. It doesn't really matter. Whatever. And just look how pretty. It just looks magical. I mean, you could just leave that, paint the rest of the treasure box white, black, whatever you wanted. It's so cool. I love it. Anyway, hopefully that's the front. Yes, it is. All right, so that was just the blue and the white mixed together and just kind of smear it in. Now, when this dries, it is going to fade, but when you resin or when you spray seal with the polyurethane, those colors are going to pop again. So don't be disappointed when it dries and it's dull and it's flat, okay? It doesn't dry glossy. Now, because of the Floetrol, parts will dry glossy. But normally it dries flat, which is good. It's indication that, hey, I'm dry. So there's that. But when you spray it, then you can either spray it with a matte or a gloss, satin, whatever finish you want. I'm doing blue again. This just getting me right here. All right, now I want to go for greens. I think I'll skip the Floetrol coming down the sides. I'll pat this out a little bit. Just want to make it look not quite so even. Thank you so much, you guys, for the love. Since we're already in this color of wood, I'm going to wet this puppy down. And then we're going to use some sparkling gel. Now, this sparkling gel is not the same as a metallic. It's got like a clear in it, and it seems less saturated, less pigmented. So if you want it to be a darker color of green and you're using your sparkling, then just use like the dragon belly to bolster that green. But a lot of times I like the sparkling when I'm trying to get like a transparent, like those, I don't have it, but the ribbons, if you want a transparent but color, the sparkling is fabulous for that. And then at the edge of that ribbon, use a regular, and that will give that look in your mind's eye that, oh, it is a ribbon because you have edges, and then you see the transparent color in the center. It's just a real beautiful thing, and that might be a good way to paint a rainbow. We might have to look at that. I need more colors. I have to look at that. Okay, I'm going to go without changing my brush, washing it or anything, just putting my brush right back into the blue sparkle and mixing it in with my green sparkle. Just brushing it in, just to see a different color tone between the two. I like. You certainly don't need much of the unicorn spit to get a color like that. Okay, so I got my yellow. And there's no right or wrong. There's no rules, y'all. Not in this studio, and I hope not in yours. Unless you found a rule that works for you. That's different. Then, hey, it's your rule. And then if it's not working for you anymore because you grow, change, whatever, pitch it. You know, it's so much freedom, and the freedom is there. It's just you have to be the one to give it to you. You know, no one can tell you except you. So it's okay to play. Usually you would want to go with the wood grain when you are staining your wood pieces. Get it nice and down in there. It's hard to do when you're trying to also do, you know, a design. But not impossible. And what I love to do on the treasure boxes is You know, they think it's just a decorated box, but they're in for a surprise. Because in the inside lid, that's where I really like to have something special. And they don't expect that for the most part, if they don't know me or my art. And I love that, and I like seeing the expressions, because that's what I was hoping for, you know? I want them to be surprised, and I think anytime you can have a surprise in your art, it's a positive thing, a good surprise. I hope it dries a little more pastel, but if it doesn't, I can always just get some Floetrol and some whitening unicorn spit and mix it up real good to where it's very ghosty, misty. If you're ever doing like you want fog on the water, get your painting done, spray it, seal it, and then go back with a little Floetrol and some whitening and mix it up just a little bit, just a drop or two, and then brush with a fluffy brush, and you will have fog or clouds or whatever. It's a very ghost looking result, and it's fabulous. So, and you can do that with anything, like you've got trees and you want it to be, you know, misty, foggy, whatever, do it down at the bottom, or just beautiful. And now that I'm thinking about it, you could actually color that fog, and that would be really cool. So I'm going to add some more white because I like it. I like what happened down here. So I just want to kind of go with that. And if you're new to painting, one of the things that I've noticed that I have switched was I used to paint from side to side, you know, like the whole thing. If I started my water here, then I would go all the way across. And when I stopped doing that, it opened up a whole bunch more possibilities of what I can do with my painting. Because now, if I stop here, I can put trees or mountains or a pathway that comes around towards the front, you know. But if I go all the way across, I'm pretty much done unless I'm having something come up out of the water. So that's a thought. And the other is not really finishing something, you know, not making it detailed to death. If you're going to detail something and you have like a big tree, it's easier to, and you have other trees in the background, just go ahead and give the ideas of those other trees in the background. Let me show you what I'm talking about quite fast. Give me some black. I don't know, you guys probably all know this, but every time I do something, there's always one that says, thank you, I needed that. So for that one, this is what I do. I'm just going to do it here, and I'll show you. So what I do is I use a dark color, a flat dark color, black, and on this kind of a brush, and I just set it down and drag it up. And as you drag it up, you come up off of your page, just like you would a pen when you're trying to make the end thin. So it's the same thing. And don't start at the top. I wouldn't start at the very top of the mountain unless you're trying to say this is the tree line, you know. I think it's always better to start just slightly below and let it be like a half a tree first, because it just kind of is more natural looking. I don't know, that's just me, but just ideas that maybe you could try and not. I don't know. So just set it down, and let's see, let's bring it over here, and then I'm just gonna pull them up, and I'm not gonna pull them up nice either. I want them kind of going crooked, and those trees like that, you don't even have to detail. You just, I don't know if you want a pine tree or whatever. Where's my black? Those are just the ideas. You know, you just want an idea of trees. And maybe as it comes closer to you, then you're going to be wanting to get more detail. So you start going a little bit wider, a little bit taller, but really you're doing the same thing. You're dragging from the bottom to the top, so it just naturally brings a thin branch, and it just paints for you. It's just, I'm telling you, these brushes, this little flat, fabulous. So those I wouldn't even detail. And then in the very front, if I did a nice big tree of life, something like that, that's the one I would detail. And I wouldn't detail all of it. I would only detail the closest ones to you. And you know, you don't have to detail any of it. But it really frees you up when you realize it's up to you what you see and what you want to present. And if you want to present, this is freeing for me, this style of painting where it just flows, and then I can go chase certain shapes down and make it a planet, make it a tree, make it an animal that doesn't really exist. It doesn't matter. Just play in your spit and have a blast. That's what's important. I really feel bad for those that don't do TikTok, because, and I understand it, I do, because when I first got on TikTok, I was like, what the crap? What's going on here? But you can eventually, you can shape it down to the social media that you want. And that's what you do. That's what you do with the rest of your life, right? That's what you do with your art. You try a bunch of different mediums, and then you either collect them all, like me, and become mad science, or you pick a couple that just does something for you, right? Well, social media is the same. I still haven't figured out Instagram. I have no idea what I'm doing over there, and whatever. I'm just trying to do my lives to get people encouraged to get into art. That's all I want. I want to help if I can help in any way. And because I believe that we're all creators. We're all meant to create. That's what we were born to do. And you are too. And you've got special things in you. I say it all the time, but it's true. You have special art inside of you that only you can bring to the world. It's yours. So let it out. Let it out. And the only way to get it out and to know who you are as an artist is to start playing. Don't set limits of goals or what it's supposed to look like or end results. No, just play in and experience it. Feel it, smell it, get into it, and let it take you wherever. And that way, you're not thinking about, no, this is right, this is wrong, anything like that. You're just experiencing the joy of the color flow, and then you end up with cool stuff. And it encourages you. You encourage yourself, because it's like, I did that. And you can be proud of yourself. It's just like growing. It's like watching our children grow, right? It's the same thing. So, you know, you don't expect your child to just boom, get something immediately. Well, it's the same. Appreciate you. I'll be hanging out in your lives soon. I want to finish the rest of the side of this box before I call it done. So I'm going to just go over and just keep painting. But you guys, I appreciate you all hanging out with me today. And you know, just play with those rainbow colors. You're not going to have a problem blending with the unicorn spit at all, even on wood, especially if you use Floetrol. If you don't use Floetrol, still not going to have a problem blending. But when you lay your stuff down, give a little bit of room in between. that's going to be your blending area, and that way you can push it back either way. Like if the red is coming over too much, and you know, then you can push it back because you'll have that extra little room. That's all that I would say. That's usually what I do with horizons. It's the same thing. My clouds, my water, I just want to make room because I might want to adjust it a little bit. So I do the same with the unicorn spit on my horizons, and then apparently also this. It seemed to work pretty good on the rainbow situation. So you guys have a great day. I'm going to just keep going. So thanks for hanging out, whoever can keep going with me. All right, let's see. We got to get some green back over here on this side. And I was using this sparkle, so I'm going to keep doing that. I really do like the way this is turning out. I had no idea really how I was going to do this, but I'm digging it. Of course, it may all change. I know this. Let's go ahead and use some regular dragon belly. I love painting water with Floetrol. Oh, it is a dream. Floetrol and unicorn spit for water. There is no equal. I've painted with the oils, acrylics, pastel, alcohol inks, and unicorn spit is the easiest that I have found to get a very watery look. That's what I love about it. Because I do like painting waters. A little more white. I'm having fun with the white, so that's what I do. If you just go along and whatever, if you're painting in an area that is frustrating you, instead of just fighting through it and all that, do it my way. Leave it alone and go someplace else on that same piece and start messing there. That way, pretty soon you'll just automatically end up back there and you'll be fine. You won't be in that mental thing that you're battling right now, and it'll work out just fine. It usually does. It usually does. Just more water. Now I've gone all the way across. This may not be water. Let's tap a few more little white things on this because to me it looks like a wave, so I'm just going to go with it. Thank you for the hearts, you all. You have a wonderful day too, everybody. All right, so back to the sides. Where are we at? Pretty. So on the side, here we go. This is the thing with treasure boxes if you're hanging out. Like, okay, there's the waves. It's coming at you. And then the person turns it and sees it like this. Okay, wow, that's sad. But I have an option. At this point, I can make this into a waterfall, and this whole thing will be a painting in itself right here. Or I can just continue that whole thing, so it just continues as the colors of the water and all that. So either way, it's fun. And you know, you don't have to stick with going all the way around the box. If one side you want to do a totally different way, do it. That's what makes them cool, because then people grab it and think, oh, that's so cool, look at this. And that's what's fun about it. So yay. Don't you want to just put a bird right in the middle? Okay, let's do that. Where's my palette knives? Hold on a sec. I should have cleaned it off the last time I used it. Okay, so palette knife, easiest way to get a bird that I know. And, you know, if it messes up, no big deal, just scrape it up, start again. Okay, so I'm gonna put some, well, I don't want white. Let's make it purple. Purple bird. Purple Hill Majesty. And I'm just going to put it in a little palette area. And just this palette knife, I recommend. It's got the short side and the long side. So it's great for seagulls. Seriously. So you just load up one little short side, and you're going to do the wings at the body first, the parts that are attached to the body. We're just coming up, okay? So I don't know where I want him. Let's see. I want him over here. And I want him kind of flying. Which way do I? I'm trying to figure out which way I want him tipped. Hold on. Yeah, okay, he's going this way. He's gonna be way over here. So I'm just gonna set it down one side. Load up again. Set it down the other side. This one didn't get all the way to the end. Hold on. There's those two little lines, just a 2V basically. And then you're going to do two more coming off of those. Okay, so you got an elongated M. And then just a glob right down below the two where they meet. Let me darken. So anyway, something like that, just an M with a big body. And it's just with the palette knife, so you don't have to draw lines. That's hard if you shake a little bit, and I do, and you're trying to do a line, horizon lines, anything, get a palette knife because it will make all the difference in the world for you on your horizon lines. Or just use tape to get that nice crisp line, and it doesn't have to go all the way across. So, you know, just so that you know where your horizon line is, really helps. And then you can brush, you know, through it and around it or whatever. But what I would do is probably add a little bit of highlight on his body. Like, let me go ahead and do that. Just a touch of it on your brush, not much at all. And what it's going to do is it's going, when it hits that wet purple, it's going to bring it to a lighter purple, and it automatically highlights for you that way. So I'm going to say that this is the sun over here, or some sort of light source. So I think I want him to have a little bit of highlight on this side of his body. where that sun might be hitting. And just maybe a tip. Let's kind of fade out into that, something like that. And you wouldn't have to do any of that, but it's kind of neat to try and think of where the light might hit something like on this tree. You know, I would probably want to highlight on this side, up towards the top, down here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and highlight that. And you're doing it the same way, just with some whitening. Whatever color that tree is, it's going to mix with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and just tap it along the side where I think the sun or moon or whatever that is might hit it. And yellow actually is a beautiful color. The yellow with the black on the unicorn spit, lemon kiss, makes a very mossy green. It's just really beautiful. I love it. And it's also an excellent highlighter. Might have gotten a little carried away with that one. And if you do say, okay, I put too light on the bottom of that tree, then just take the tree color or any color, dark color, and take it back off again just by adding more. What I like to do instead of black is I like to shadow with blues and purples and greens, because I think it gives a cooler look to things. You can add just a little bit of water to your brush and just pull down whatever colors is already existing on there and give it a nice blend. Well, I've highlighted the bottom of the trunk. Thank you for the love, you guys. I appreciate all that. You're the best. So, you know, so fun, so easy. Lots of green, which is the one I didn't want, the color, but it's actually working for me. Kind of like the idea of just letting it fade off into different colors on different sides. That's a thought. All right, perfect. Well, you guys, this is as far as we're gonna get today, but I so appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and the love that you've given. I hope you got something out of it and that you relaxed today and that you just decided to go on your own happy little journey and don't let anybody or give you bad vibes. You don't receive anything like that. It's your journey. You get to say what you're going to do, what you're going to create, and how you're going to create it. So just be free. Allow yourself that freedom, and you will just absolutely love painting with these unicorn spit gel stains. I promise you. It's not just for furniture, you guys. Even though I love the furniture, I do. I've got some furniture that I've painted with it, a table, but I still want to go ahead and do something like this on the table as well. But you can use it as a medium, and it's so so fun with acrylics and alcohol inks as well. So when I start doing the nightlight, which will be Tuesday, we'll start my new nightlight. We're going to be using all three, that powerful triple combo. And so I hope you come back for that. It'll be Tuesday, 11:45.